Good day, everyone. It is Wes here on YouTube, and you are watching Lost Muscle Cars. And click subscribe below. We got lots of fun content for you, like today, when we talk about the first ever muscle car in a lot of people's opinions, the 1961 Impala Super Sport. And what's cool about the 61 Impala is that to get the Super Sport package, there were mandatory items like a 4-speed transmission, but you had to have either the 348 or the 409. The 348 at the time had horsepower ratings of 305, 340, and 350. And of course, the 409, which came out later in the year, had an advertised horsepower of 360. So those were your 4 engine options for the Super Sport Impala for 1961. And what we're talking about regarding these Impalas is a couple of the anomalies, right? So we know there were 453 Super Sport Impalas built. In 1961, only 142 full-size Chevys came with the 409, right? So not all of the 142 engines went into Super Sport Impalas. We do have record of a Biscayne getting the 409, and the rumors, of course, of Bel Airs and some other Biscayne models as well. So we kind of shrank down how many possible 409 Super Sport Impalas there were, but the 348 with its 3 engine packages made up a bulk of the rest of those Super Sports. If you look at the brochure on page 1, as soon as you open it, there is a picture of a 4-door Super Sport Impala. To date, not one single car has been documented to having survived. But if you look, I was able to find a host of classified ads throughout the 1960s showing 61 Impala Super Sport 4-door cars for sale. And some of these cars are very dialed in with their description and also showing the list of options that their car came with. In my opinion, my honest opinion, I believe there were Super Sport 4-door Chevy Impalas built in 1961. It's a high attrition rate for 4-doors, so the survival rate of getting a car to 2026 is extremely low. You look across all Impala SS production, 453 cars, and there's something like 45 Impalas accounted for. So attrition rates extremely high, even for the 2-door cars. To find a 4-door Impala with an SS package would be one of those unicorn lost muscle car finds of all time, in my opinion. Again, I believe what the majority of people think, that the Impala SS in 1961 was the first muscle car. So to find an anomaly like a 4-door would be incredible. I'd put it right up there with the 4-door Hemi Cornettes, Belvederes, and some of those 429 Cobra Jet 1969, 1970 4-door cars. Have you seen or heard of a 4-door SS Impala in 1961? Also, let's talk about like unicorns. 142 409 built cars in 1961. A lot of people think that's all Impalas. It's not. There was a Biscayne that is known, a factory race car. There are reports of possible Bel Airs. So, you know, 142 is the number of 409s. You got to subtract some of these anomalies, and then you probably have in the 130s for Impalas. But again, that 4-door, bucket list car, unicorn car, an all-time muscle car. Let's hear it. You know, we know that the Impala convertible 409 Super Sport exists. It would be as drilled down as possible to get one of these cars. 142 409s, 453 SS Impalas. Man, you put those odds together, you put attrition rate, just a handful of Super Sport convertibles. So what is your opinion overall on the 1961 Super Sport model year? Where do you classify that as pertaining to being the original muscle car? Is it the 64 GTO? Is it some of those 413 Plymouths and Dodges? Is it the early Pontiacs where in 1960 you could get the Super Duty components in the trunk of your car delivered? It's a great topic. It's a fun discussion. I'm Wes. You're watching Lost Muscle Cars here on YouTube. We'll see you down the road.